Good morning and welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today's story is a story from Vietnam. It is called The Watermelon, and it goes like this. Long, long ago, a little boy was kidnapped by traders from the seas to the south and sold to the King Hung VII as a slave. He was named An Thiem and grew up to be talented. The king had great confidence in him and rewarded him with a wife and many gifts. An Thiem held to the teachings of his childhood, and it was his belief that his good fortune came about because of his good conduct in a previous life. He often spoke of this, and there were many who disliked him. They said such a belief meant that he did not pay due respect to his true benefactor, the king. Some of them approached the ruler and told him of An Thiem's beliefs, advising him that in the future such a man could betray him. You must send him away, exile him to some remote and barren island. This will prove to him that all his benefits came from you, they urged. Although the king loved An Thiem, he was swayed by the silver tongues of his enemies, and he banished the luckless slave, his wife and his children, to the island of Nga Son. When the king's ship left them on the shore of the island, with only enough food to last a few months, the wife and children were in great despair. They could see no trees, no plants, no other life. This was indeed a barren and desolate place. How would they live when their meager store of food was gone? But as his wife wept, An Thiem embraced her and said simply, "We have our hands, we can live." He never showed any signs of worry, and every day he calmly searched the island for anything that would ensure the survival of his loved ones. One day, An Thiem found some bird droppings, and in the middle of the droppings he saw something black and shiny. He examined it. A seed? If this is a seed, it might grow. If it does grow, it must have fruit. And if the birds can eat the fruit, so can a man and his wife and his children. There was no rich soil on the island, only patches of sand. So, being no other choice, the seed was planted there. It was carefully nurtured, and on one happy day, a tiny green shoot appeared. As the months passed, the plant grew, and it was like nothing they had seen before. It trailed over the ground, and when the blossom had gone, the fruit began to grow, and such fruit they were. More time passed, and An Thiem and his family were more and more amazed by their size. One day, when they were bigger than the head of a man and a dark, dark green in color, An Thiem cut one open. What delight! The rich, red, succulent flesh was unlike anything they had ever tasted, and they were happy. The family planted seeds all over the island to provide food for the future. When some time had passed, An Thiem wished to share his good fortune with others. He put his own special mark on some of the melons and cast them into sea. Perhaps this food will help save someone else from starvation. The currents and winds carried one of the melons to the shores of the land from which Antiem had been banished. A fisherman found it, and because it was such a rare and strange thing, he took it to the king. For a long time, the king had thought about his treatment of Antiem, and he had begun to regret the manner in which he had treated his beloved servant. And when he saw the mark on the fruit, the king recognized it as belonging to Antiem. He sent a messenger to the island to discover the source of the wonderful fruit. The messenger returned with his ship laden with fruit and news of Antiem's good fortune. The king was happy and again sent a messenger to the island to bring back the exiles. It is said that the bird which carried the seed came from the west, and the fruit is now sometimes called zuatai, or west melon. More often it is called zuahau or zuador, which means red melon. It is grown in sandy areas where before did not grow any plant. Thank you.